Okay, so I finished my second book of 2021 last week, and some of you may know that I read The Alchemist. If you follow me on social media, I finished The Alchemist. I really loved this book, and this video I didn't want it to be a book review because I generally don't know how to do a book review, so it's gonna be me talking about a little bit of my past because this book made me realize that a couple of things that had happened to me before was some kind of a divine strategy, or should I just say it's a divine conspiracy? I don't know, depend how you see it. So if you haven't read this book before, this book is about a young boy. I think his name is Santiago, if I'm not mistaken, from Spain. So this boy has a dream, like a literal dream, of some treasure in Egypt, and this entire book basically is about his adventures and journey from Spain to the north of Africa, Morocco, and ultimately obviously to the pyramids of Egypt, of Giza, to find his treasure. It's an exciting book filled with ups and downs, roller coaster of emotions, but it's a fantastic book in the end. Ultimately, the book is about the universal stuff that we've heard before, you know, discovering your purpose, following your dreams, and I kind of feel like it's also mostly about, you know, discovering, or rather learning, that each person has their own God-given destinies and journeys, and that journey is basically for you alone, and only you can walk the paths that God has already designed for you. So I thought that was amazing, because in learning that, I actually had to reflect back and think about some of the stuff that had happened in my life and why they happened, and that's actually one of the reasons, or rather the main reason, why I want to share this video with you. So let's chat, right? So I've always been a person of dreams and ideas. I don't know, I feel like God has just created me to have ideas. It started when I was in high school, actually, yeah. I had ideas. I was in love with science and biology, and you know, there would always be something that motivated me to think beyond, you know, the school books. I remember we used to have those, you know, toilets at home with like holes, and you know, they're not flushing, they're just like a hole dug, and then there's like a shack, like a toilet shack built, and I remember I was like, you know what would happen if these holes, these toilet holes, get filled with feces? And I was like, you know what, it would be great to have a specific bacteria that eats all the feces, and I would sell these bacteria in all of these rural areas, and people will never again have to dig another hole for a toilet. I was like, phew, that was amazing. So these ideas kept coming, and I was just like an idea, because I kind of feel like I was a Joseph, you know, if we had to make a comparison. But anyway, so even when I came to UCT in 2011, I felt like I had so many dreams. After I graduated, not dreams, ideas. After I graduated, there were so many ideas that I would get, and I kind of feel like those were God-given ideas. And one of the ones that I actually followed was to start a publishing company. And I remember, guys, I literally heard God speak to me to start that publishing company, and I did. You know, I started a publishing company. I published a couple of books, and it was a journey. It was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. But it came a time where, you know, the publishing company or the publishing work was almost conflicting with the kind of work that I genuinely wanted to do, which is storytelling. And so I had to like choose between the two, you know, and obviously I chose, you know, filmmaking and storytelling. And besides choosing, you know, storytelling as opposed to publishing, something that I heard God tell me to do, after reading this book, it actually made me realize that, I don't know, it made me think a lot about the stuff, the ideas that I had before, you know, should I pursue them, should I not? And obviously they are God-given. I don't think that, they just come from my own, and I kind of feel like I also have an obligation to fulfill them. Or do I? There's also that's a battle that I'm also trying to figure out as well myself, is that do I follow these ideas, these dreams that I have, or do I just like focus on this thing that I just feel, and that's exactly what this book made me feel as well. Like, there are certain routes, there are certain journeys, or rather your journey will have, it's not going to be a linear route to like the stuff that you need to achieve. There are branches, there are meanders, there's like a lot of stuff that you have to go through in order to discover the kind of person that you have to be when you receive that treasure, or when you sort of walk in that destiny that you have so long been dreaming about. And it's almost like, you leave Cape Town, right? And then you go to Joburg, or rather you go to Bloemfontein, and then you go to Joburg, and then you go to Zimbabwe, Botswana, and then Namibia, and then you come back to Cape Town. And after all these journeys that you've had, you actually realize that, you know what, when I was on the road, the only thing that I was thinking about was Cape Town. And when you come back to Cape Town, you kind of feel like, you know what, I belong here. And that's exactly what I've felt as well, in my time, experimenting with other stuff, trying out other stuff that I felt like I needed to do then. I've always felt like, there's this gift in me of just telling stories, and these ideas that just kept coming in. And I don't know, it's a battle of, do I pursue this or do I follow this thing? And I think the answer is simple. Whatever your heart tells you to do, it's exactly what you need to do. If you are doing something and your mind is something, it's almost like when you're in love with somebody. When you are in a relationship with somebody, but you are in love with somebody else, you're constantly thinking about them. You're like, oh my gosh, why am I in this relationship? That's the thing. You gotta end that relationship and go after the woman or the man of your dreams, literally dreams. So that's what I wanted to chat to you guys about, and I hope that I don't know if you've read this book, but I hope that this short video, I hope it is short, inspires you to basically start thinking about the stuff in your heart that you also feel that is there. You're doing something, but your heart is on something else. Try to maybe forget about everything, and just completely go for it. And I think that's the whole purpose of this book, really, to just make you realize that the one thing that you actually want is literally within arm's reach. It's just here. It's where you are. It's in your surrounding. It's literally here in your heart. And that's exactly what you need to do. And the journeys that you have to go through in order to achieve that, they are there to make you better, to make you realize certain things, to build you, to strengthen you, to make you stronger for the next level of your life. Don't ever underestimate or the little things that you go through in life. So guys, I hope this video was very helpful to you, and remember to check this book out. If you haven't read it, I can borrow you. I've got some underlines and stuff, but I don't think you will mind. Alternatively, just go to CNA. I bought it at CNA for, I don't know if you can see, it was half price. So I think it says, what's half price of 190? Anyway, you make up the price, but yeah, I think I saw it today at 140 Rand. Go take a lot. So check it out and let me know what you think. If you read it, let's have a conversation in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys, and cheers.